On to some breaking developments coming in this edition. According to the reports that we are getting, major armed police operation is underway in an area called Forest in Brussels. According to the mayor there, a building has been sealed off. According to the initial information that is trickling in at this point, the sealing off of the building after suspicion of the presence of an armed man. The incident is taking place near a primary school with nearly 350 children present inside the school. Armed police and helicopters have been deployed. Witnesses saying a security perimeter has been established around the building. The initial details that are trickling in, the armed police operation which is underway in Brussels. According to the mayor, one suspected gunman involved. Let's go straight across now to our correspondent Jack Parrick joining us from Brussels for more on this. What do we know at this point, Jack?
Well, we know that police were called to a property essentially and went in at about 1 p.m. local time, just over about an hour and 15 minutes ago. There's been a big perimeter put around, and there's a huge police presence in the Forêt area of Brussels. Now, this is significant because this is the area where the gun battle took place between Salah Abdeslam, the Paris attack suspect that managed to flee the Paris attacks. We've just been going through a trial here in Belgium about his shootout that happened in Forêt back in 2016. So now what we're seeing is another part of another incident of that nature potentially happening. However, we don't know anything at the moment from authorities. None of this is confirmed. We don't know exactly whether the man that they think is armed is indeed armed. We will hear more from the authorities, we expect, in the coming minutes and hours.
Jack, this, as you also mentioned, is an incident which comes in addition to a string of similar incidents taking place in the entire region. In terms of the security, which we've seen heightened across the region, get us up to speed with the arrangements that have been made by the authorities, and also this incident taking place near a primary school where nearly 350 children are believed to be present.
Well, exactly. I mean, this is, I suppose, why it's already getting a lot of media attention. Obviously, the events in Florida with the school shooting there have raised concerns, and the sensitivity around that kind of issue has obviously put everyone on high alert. Now, as far as the security situation in Belgium goes, the terror attack alert level was reduced from 3 to 2, meaning that they weren't expecting an attack. It meant sort of an average level of anticipation of a terror attack. And that happened recently, meaning that there are going to be a decreasing number of soldiers and armed police on the streets. Having said that, they will still continue their anti-terror operations. And we don't know whether this might have been a planned raid today. We really know very little about the operation that happened down there at the moment in Forêt.
Also, if you can just also take us through what the mayor has said once again, Jack. Very little information, of course, that's trickling in at this point. Jack, in terms of the authorities giving out details of that incident, which continues.
So the mayor of the region of Brussels called Forêt, which has its own mayor, that area, a man named Marc-Jean Guissels, has basically said that they suspect the presence of an armed man, that police suspect the presence of an armed man. Little more is actually coming out than that. We don't really know exactly what is happening down there, and we don't know whether they've managed to arrest this man yet, but obviously the sensitivity is high. This city is a city that understands terror attacks. Back in March 2016, when the Brussels attacks hit, the sort of city braced itself, and you can feel that slightly happening today again.
All right, we're going to leave it there for the moment, Jack. Appreciate very much you joining us on the broadcast with all of those details, getting us the very latest from Brussels, our correspondent Jack there. But we do know at this point that the mayor has also given out initial details of a suspected gunman there. This incident coming from Forest in Brussels, very close to the premises of a school where nearly 350 students are present.